Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Prey. It's been a couple days since I last played, so I'm gonna have to try and figure out where I am. Alright, now I remember where I am. Didn't take that long. Alright, so we're going to take on the phantoms in this next section, and unless there was just like a nightmare in this next section, I imagine it's gonna be fairly easy. Like, it was way too easy to take out all of the uh, phantoms and weaver that really just lined up here. Three fortified turrets, which I assume do more damage, and the weaver and the phantoms all just are programmed in their AI to jump directly in front of your reticle as far as shooting guns. So as soon as they did that, all I had to do is shotgun hit them all in a row. So it was like 4 or 5 shots at most, it felt like. And we only have seen one phantom this way, so this very easily is going to be nothing. It would be funny, I suppose, if it turned out that there was a whole bunch of extra enemies around here. We see a weave. We see the self-destruct key. Which, do I need the self-destruct key? I already have an arming key. We're looking for a 3232 thing for a side objective. Let's see if this is 3232. Yes, this is. So, side objective was to... Let's just not even worry about it. The guy's not even going to see us. Q, I can't thank you enough for risking your taking on my behalf of the volunteers who no longer have a voice in this. I thought the thought of you cooped up in the cargo container hurtling towards Earth, it kills me, even though Will says it's safe and that you'll have plenty of food. I have the evidence on the thumb drive. I know the evidence on this thumb drive cannot make amends for everything that's happened, but exposing the truth can help prevent it from happening again. Thank you, my friend AG. So, they were smuggling... The whistleblower thing was smuggling people out back to Earth. Here's the thumb drive, which is a completely different icon. Used only once, it looks like. This drive in your possession contains incriminating evidence related to illegal experiments performed aboard Talos I in the psychotronics lab. This includes, but not limited to, classified internal memorandums, key research data spanning several decades, names and roles of all personnel involved, volunteer IDs matched with their real names. The information will corroborate the existence of extraterrestrial species called Typhon, which apparently they don't even know about the Typhons on Earth, as well as the fact that neuromods are made at the expense of human victims. I harbor no illusions that this will be easy to believe, but I will testify to its veracity, assuming I am still alive, because I was a participant in many of these experiments. Reference Dr. Annalise Gallegos. So, yeah. The whole thing was illegal testing, which is not super surprising. Quentin Purvis, not a volunteer apparently. Here you can see some toilet paper. Here you can see that's a weird sound effect. Toilet paper, but not really anywhere to use it, and a cot, and really not a significant amount of food, depending on how long you are really going to be hurtling to Earth from that. If you're talking really just a matter of a few hours or days, probably would have been fine, but if you were talking a matter of weeks, that would be a lot. So there's like light bulbs and a weird zero gravity aspect here that doesn't quite make sense. You know, it almost feels like gravity stops inside this square. Need to check the objectives otherwise though, just to make sure we know what we're trying to do. Still looking for Grant Lockwood. Still could potentially escape Talos I. Still potentially told by Daniel Shu, who is still outside in space, losing oxygen. If we go back to the Arboretum, we can do that one. Let's see. Find 5 more drop points throughout. That's the Arboretum too. And then the treasure hunt. I question whether I'll bother to even do that. Since we have in our sights, it probably does make some sense to just find the Q-beam and see if we can notice how he starts to detect me as soon as I target him, which that doesn't seem fair. I know I've never upgraded the stealth to any level. Oh, well, there we just looked at the number on the wall. So, pretty much once you've found the treasure map, the just generally looking at the wall is all you really need to do. You generally looking in the general direction of the wall is all you need to do. Weapon upgrades, spare parts, all of that. Right, so this goes to life support, which we don't really have that. I don't know who Austin Cool is. We can unlock this door though. Yeah. You're seeing some shadow pop in and texture pop in here. General things labeled as junk, which honestly, why didn't you label more things as junk? And that felt a little frame ratey. I just launched the game, and if anything, this is probably one of those newer games that is sometimes running into problems on the first launch more than it's running into problems. I wonder if we just never are going to use this door. Or you have to open it the other way. There's shader load-in problems that I've heard DF Retro in particular complain about, and I've yet to see a game where shader stuttering really feels like a thing for any of the games I've played, but in fairness, I haven't played a modern game. This is probably one of the newest games I've played on my channel. It does kind of feel like it at any point. Yeah, this door. Door doesn't probably matter. I'd imagine if there is going to be an attack.
Shipments from Earth have been temporarily delayed. Personnel are directed to clear up backlog deliveries until notified by supervisor.
Yeah, do I really want to hear that kind of stuff? I have like one piece of junk, and that's it. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and just transfer suit repair kits. Just because I mean, it's just gonna give me material that I don't need. But I'll take it anyways, I guess, because we have so many of them. And then we just have a whole bunch of food that's probably not really worth looking at. And I'm kind of in a good position with shotgun shells. I'm probably in a fine position with everything else. So, really would just come down to upgrading the glue gun and getting weapon upgrades, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah. Upgrade the handling on the glue gun. I have a decent amount of glue. I have more than enough shotgun shells. The self-destruct key. Let's figure out what the deal with this is. It says I should go to life support as far as our objective. Get Alex's arming key in life support as the main story. Everything else pushes us in different directions. Looks like the weave may have added here, which maybe means that there's a thing here. Director level lockdown at this point. I forgot to even grab that.
Microgravity detected.
So. Where does this go? We don't know. Is there anything floating in this area? It feels kind of stuttery too in this section. And I've once again completely forgotten about the idea that there might be a recycling grenade on the door somewhere. What you might want to do as a twist to the idea of a crazy guy putting booby traps everywhere would be to take it the next step and kill or defeat the guy who put all the bombs around at a reasonable quick pace, and then have just bombs everywhere else still appear, because he would have just placed a bunch of booby traps to begin with. Yep. And that would take you to the guts. Okay, so we're gonna come back through this whole area later. It does seem like it's fairly obvious we're going to go through the guts a second time. We may end up going through many areas a second time, and it does paint a picture that the game is really just gung-ho on the idea of you visiting each area multiple times. What's funny is I wouldn't be surprised if that is exactly what people would have thought they wanted in BioShock 1. Like, nothing really stops you from playing BioShock 1 on a different difficulty a second time, but I bet a lot of people only did play it once and then maybe came back and played it a second time. Like, I've probably only played BioShock 2 or 3 times myself. And if the game dragged me around...
Micah, not sure you got your transcribe. Morgan is making her way to you now. Warning you and anyone else. So you don't enter accidentally. Or on purpose. Morgan? I thought she's outside.
Morgan? Mikhaila. I didn't check your transcribe. Not sure how you got here. I thought you left because... Never mind. Airlocks are locked up. Like my lungs. Paraplexis. I'm even seeing the spots now. You were right. Even if I could get my booster from my office. But I think I can get us out. By cycling main reactors to bypass the lockdown. I know it sounds crazy, I can walk you through it. I do it myself, but just get here, alright?
So we now have a new objective, and we already have the booster shots that she needs. In all fairness, though, let's just look at the station map. We are locked down in life support. It would have been a very hard trip to, I guess, go back to the cargo bay and go to the exterior to get to the hardware labs. Like, that would have been a long journey. And certainly you would have a different experience the second time you played a game like this. Like, if you already had known what you needed and where it was. Of course, if you just play fairly thoroughly, you still have a very different experience. Where was we blew up the operator, and I'd like to get the spare parts from the operator if I can find it, assuming it's still in existence and didn't get either blown completely into pieces or something else. Maybe using the Q-beam on operators always does, like, kill the operators. So is the atmosphere control this way, reactor control room that way? I bet this is the operator, so it doesn't get blown up, it just got flung. Excuse me. Wow, we've only been playing 20 minutes. Okay. So I can morph my way in there, which is probably safest to simply just do this first. Another corpse. We'll just look over here. And then we'll look over here. This is a more vertical, bigger room. Interesting. Took a few more shots that time. Let's see if there's anything over here. Alright, we need to find something small that potentially could waddle its way through here. I don't think that's small enough. Now, I don't know if you can just morph into a part of a typhon. This is a decontamination chamber, meaning we can't really go that far. Just look over here. Looks like this is more stuff to search this way, although this may not be that much more stuff to search. Let's take this box. You know what? I think we can just smash the window here and do it that way. Yep. Suit kit fabrication plan. Fried hard drive, spare parts. Let's turn the lights on. Note, 2 people have checked out equipment and failed to return it. Ari and Roger Muir. Is that going to give us some kind of side quest? Here we have a drawing that either is blown out by the flashlight or is in dark light. Otherwise, annual maintenance is on there. Make sure Lee Max knows getting a headshot. There's a fabrication plan for him. So it really feels like these kinds of barriers are just artificially added to give the morph ability more use. Is this supposed to be the reactor?
This might sound strange for me, but I admire what you did. You didn't have to help Talos I and her cargo bay, especially considering well, considering you intend to destroy the station. You gave them some hope, even if it's brief.
Like there really is an argument to not destroying the station, or maybe we could free people before we destroyed the station, but there is also an argument to destroying the station. A insignificant amount of spare parts and glue cannons available, and if we follow through in the finding those people and collecting those things, if anything, that's really more just an argument to collect things. Yeah, it's kind of arbitrary even here to be able to get to these vertical areas when all this probably does is lead to it maybe some kind of secret. But I question that. I question if I can really get any higher than this. I feel like you potentially are going to fall to your death chasing off what is possibly nothing in that corner. Otherwise, you're just going this way. Alright, well. Little cystoid nest. And maybe cystoids just can't even. I don't know what happened there. Seems like there was either a proximity triggering recycling grenade, or they scripted something. Pause now if you want to read this. To have the cystoids trigger a recycling grenade. Either one of those is scary, because it does certainly produce a new possibility that was not thinkable before that point. That now there might just be instances where you get too close too fast and you will
Request new operator.
You will end up proximity grenading as well. Or recycle grenading. Okay. Let's do that. Do that. I mean, I guess we have enough. Maybe I should have hacked it first. That's the first time any of these have actually tried to attack me. Let's see. Just a lot of people. Do not wish share with Weber 0535. And we have a new transcribe, which we'll have to listen to. This is Talos lobby lockdown. And we have another recycler grenade, so we are back to that point. Let's listen to this. Now we do have neuromods to also think about, so jump incredibly high is already at the maximum. More health is probably the thing you would go with, because everything else is really just coming down to, would you want another 2 chipsets in the size scope, or would you want newer mods that I'm just not even going to use? Efficiency with med kits or well-fed bonuses, not really that important. I do have a temptation certainly to just increase these 2 mods up so that we could see what happens there. And honestly, I don't think I'm that close to the end of the game, so I think I'm safe. Yep. If I unlocked more scopes, anyways, it really wouldn't do much. Right. So this will give us a map area. We could potentially have morphed in here, or tried to remote control into opening the door. Or we can just... I guess we can't open the door. We would need the security key code. So before we do anything really crazy and like morph into this, let's see what happens when we... Here's the glue cannon. Shotgun shell fabrication. Stash in the hall by escape pods. No time to rig a drop. Good luck, EV. One assumes that there would be a mimic in here, but apparently not. Pause now if you want to read that. We'll just flush every toilet in the game, as if I think there actually is an achievement around that. And these glue guns, I mean, unless I was supposed to smash this for some reason to get the air flowing more. It's been a long time since we've found any mimics in these crawl spaces. Coffee cups are becoming rarer. Right. We were supposed to listen to transcribes, though. Audio logs. Let's just start with this one.
Can someone explain to me why this
We've already heard that one. Let's play this one.
Talk to me. We've had enemy contact, but the enemy should have hit the cargo bay. I couldn't let those people. Can you get to the escape pods? Negative. The escape pods are malfunctioning. It's like they're locked in place. Only four of us made it to life. I'm picking up Remmer behind you. Negative. Remmer isn't Chief. These things. Chief. The main lift. It isn't working. We're locked out. Oh my God. Remmer's here. Stay away. Teague. Erica. Respond.
I wonder if Rimmer here is a reference to Red Dwarf, which was a space comedy many decades ago and still kind of making episodes even now, off and on. It's got to be a reference, but it would be a reference that a lot of people wouldn't get. And I assume Rimmer isn't the chef character, but maybe the fake cook.
You wanted to speak to me. Yes. I'd like to arrange a time to oversee installation of a special particle injector in the water treatment facility. Hang on. You want me to do what now? I've already confirmed the inlet and outlet fittings are to spec. And just what precisely is this thing supposed to inject into our water supply? I'm not at liberty to say. Well then, we have a problem, Tobias. Dr. Kelsler has seen and approved. I'm going to need to see a signature Alex or Morgan or something like that. So, until I see ink on the dotted line, you'll just have to keep showing your special injector to Dr. Kelstra.
Psychic water, new objective. What am I supposed to do? Install a psychoactive particle injector in the water treatment facility. Interesting. I wonder if that would simply create a situation where now every time you drink water, you would potentially... Let's see. Mindjack. Let's see if Mindjack works on this. I don't think so. Well, we'll see if Mind Jack works with this. Nope, it doesn't work. Okay. So Mind Jack does not work on robotics. And if I was gonna mimic something, I'd have to, I guess, stand here. Because you uniquely don't, like, turn into the one. That worked. I don't know if that should have worked, really, but...
Inspecting. Your suit's leaking.
Yeah, the weirdness around this, though, certainly comes around the feeling that these turrets, when you do find them, are never really quite in the spot you would want them to be. Like, like they're never quite in the right rooms. I'm not gonna even bother to fortify that one, because it does just kind of seem like there might be a mimic somewhere around here, or that may just be a glitch visually. It seems like it's a glitch visually. Let's grab everything we can. Any guns in these gun racks? No. If this had been recycled, then maybe there would have been something more interesting in that. Pause now if you want to read this. There's a coffee cup. Now what you would think is that there might be one of those alarm panels with a secret safe in this area. But really no such luck there. Right, we already have the answer, so we don't need to do anything crazy. Alright, utilities, download area map. This gives us general idea of how many floors there are, and we actually know that one of the treasure maps is right there, so that would be 3 out of the 4 numbers necessary to collect. So I could just brute force the whole game, the whole puzzle as far as the treasure map, but it almost would be better to not do that. More backstory.
Coming through.
More backstory. Locate Gene Fair. Okay. Let's do that then. Where are we as far as just the number of people we've found versus the number of people that are dead or alive? The numbers are getting fairly small, but it does feel like it would still be a very frustrating effort to run around the entire space station looking for people. There's just a little too many places, a little too many loads. If you could do this over the course of a New Game Plus aspect, that would make sense. Arguably, the number of corpses is not wrong for a run and gun shooter, but it is totally far too many for a hidden object game, which is effectively what this is asking of you. Okay. Can't do anything with the siren. And these drop ceiling panels do create an interesting situation where we found something secret up here once through finding a secret stash, so you would expect that there might be something secret up here a second time, but there isn't. And the game has established that you're free to take your time when you are not seeing a timer happen. If you were seeing a timer happen, then you should obviously rush in, but that really seems like that only happens once in a while. Man, it's just way too much verticality. Okay. Well, you have multiple objectives this way. We're not going back that way, so it does just make sense to go down. This would be a great example of where a better zoom in and a non-annoying zoom in would show us, let us evaluate these areas to see if there's any kind of collectibles or anything, but assume that's fine. It'd be crazy if you ran into a cyclic grenade. What is this? That's a nightmare? Okay. So, in a smaller section, can I take on this nightmare and take it out? Let's just go ahead and use the shotgun against that. Alright. So I'm literally just going to eat 1, 2, 3 of these. Get the well-fed bonus. Nightmare Corpse is just going to be around now. I think I saw something else. So maybe there is this idea that Rimmer is going to be a more like there we go. Rimmer might be a more powerful character than the Nightmare, because we can see that how the Nightmare really isn't that powerful. Using one med kit only gets you to 158, and I'm up to 200 as far as health, which that really highlights how health is useful. And then we'll just eat a couple more of those, and then I'll probably get us where we want to go. We know where the map is, so Escape pod bay. So there's more escape pods. in a different area. Supply closet. We'll give it the college try and look around here. As far as all that. Let's just run. So there's multiple escape pods, and they're all defective. This is kind of a great example, though, of a area that wouldn't really have given you the opportunity to set up those turrets for that nightmare fight. Let's see. We have weapon upgrade kits, which are basically not worth getting. Shotgun shells, which aren't really worth getting. So I think the move here is to just craft Nora mods. You create a weird situation here where if the New Game Plus really just lets you... That's some weird music. If the music was just going... I mean, if the game was going to give you all your Nora mods and your entire build in the New Game Plus, you might not find any Nora mods or in the second run, but you would have to expect that they would give you either ammo or junk to at least craft more things like that. This music is getting increasingly disturbing. I guess the nightmare could have broken the elevator. I don't think he can actually cross the line there. Right. So we have Kirk Rimmer as a character. And I wonder if the Mind Jack would have freed the guy. So Kirk Rimmer is a phantom. I've Mind Jacked him. So he'll fight on my side for a while. And then what? Nothing. So, there isn't a situation where you can turn phantoms back into humans, which is good to know. But there is a situation in which I could have probably better freed some people. As far as the nightmare research, that's fully scanned. So, we have like a thermal phantom that needs to be scanned. And that may very well be the only thing unless they introduce a new enemy of some sort. And probably won't. So I'll have like all the scans done. It does seem weirdly odd that some turrets try to attack me and some turrets don't. Seems like it's a percentage odd.
We're in escape pod 8-9. Everyone is secure, but the launch controls aren't responding.
Did you follow all the steps on the launch card exactly?
Yeah, the klaxon even sounded, but the hatch won't close. We can't separate.
Hang on. I'm looking at the schematics. There should be a remote sensor on the explosive bolts.
Alika, please, hurry.
I see all the leads, but wait. This This can't be right.
Can you launch us from there? Can you at least close the goddamn hatch?
No. I don't think so. Is there a manual crank of some sort? Remmer, do you copy?
Greater mimic in there. So I guess it's really just going to become a question as to, is there somebody alive that we can actually help escape, or is there something else to this? Really just seems like they gave me literally one bullet, one 9mm bullet. We've got escape pods that kind of don't work. Maybe you can do what we did before and help them escape, but that would only be for the people who are still alive, unless we just want to send dead bodies back to Earth, which, I mean, that would be incredibly kind, certainly, and a lot of extra work to drag corpses. Reduce the time it takes to repair an object. I would take that. Let's see. Wrench critical ++ is probably not that useful. So yeah. I will take that chip. Was there another audio log to listen to? I think there was.
Have you seen Price?
What? He didn't show up for a shift again.
He's not answering transcribe. I even asked Abigail to check his cabin before she came in.
HR is going to ship his ass home for sure this time. He was already on thin ice.
He was doing good. With the Naltrix zone? Seeing Dr. Cole?
I'll call security and have them track him down. Hopefully he's okay.
That was labeled as the drunk tank. Like the security officers would have a drunk tank. Yeah, just nothing under here. Okay. So what is the objective as far as drunk tank? Find Price Broadway. That didn't lead to the code for the storage room, as far as I can tell. Rimmer, not really that interesting of a character. Neuromods, we have like 10 now, so. Getting your health up to like 300 now sounds really realistic. And then at that point, all future neuromods are just, I'm going to put it all in the engineering so we get one full panel, and then it's going to be like throwing things into all the human stats, and then if we just have a ton of neuromods, start throwing things into the Typhon abilities, which would have the turrets attack me more, but I really just don't care. The music stopped once I left this area. I wish there was a little bit more of that, where we would search under and find something. Okay. Probably gotten pretty lucky here. This does feel mostly random. And in the supply closet, will we have any mimics? Doesn't seem like it. So just a bunch of resources. We'll hold down the X button. We have not really been very much using the X button. Pause now if you want to read this. Most of these things are repeated multiple times. Yeah. They really do make it out like these turrets are just extremely, extremely valuable when they really aren't. Not unless I need turrets at some point to like, unless I needed turrets at some point to protect humans, and I just need to make a whole line of turrets, that would be about the only thing that would make sense. Can I make any more neuromods? Nope, and it's not a recycler around here, so. And so if you hack it, it just says type in material inconclusive. Instead of saying type in material not detected. Okay. This way leads to a water treatment facility, which, let's just investigate this. There's a technopath in here. Where is the technopath? Alright, well. Let's try a shotgun. I want to reload. Force this open. And then that is not working at all. I have to remember, I have the Q-beam equipped. I have the Q-beam equipped to the right D-pad button where the wrench was once equipped, and I'm just not thinking about that. Pause now. Particle injector. Turn on power. It's not turn on power quite yet. And here you have like a turret. Just like one operator is apparently under its control. Unless there's another operator somewhere around here. There's a voltaic guy somewhere around here. There's the number 3. It's kind of obvious. You would think that they would have had more numbers on the wall if they were going to play that way. Instead of having really only 4 numbers in total. Repair that electricity. if anything, perhaps on a New Game Plus you should get resources for hacking. Or you should have gotten a chip for hacking. I'm gonna fortify this one because it does seem like this might be a place where some things could go down. Let's go back into scan mode. Walk up higher. I don't think I have the water purifier item that... So you just have this guy here. And then you're just shooting until you have... Pause now if you want to read this. You're really just shooting until you have a critical shot. Biohazard waste all over the place. And alcohol. In all fairness, I guess if I had to... What was that? If I didn't have the ability to access unpowered doors, that would create a bit of a problem. Alright, so there's an engineering operator. So this feels like a morph ability. Glass does protect that. Alright. I think the game has gotten better. Either I've gotten better at playing the game, or the game has gotten better about giving you multiple options. That being said, still really wouldn't want to... Is this the drunk tank character? Well, we didn't finish that quest, so I'd say no. Vapor tanks, condenser. Music is changing very drastically for not really the best of reasons. And the real solution here would have definitely been to simply turned on the power, which may have gained the attention of some phantoms, but I think at this point all the phantoms are gone. And there's just an access panel here. Where does this lead? We've never had an opportunity to hack one of these guys before, so we should do it at least once. Okay. I think I know where I am. And let's see if we can get over here. Looks like we found another security safe. Seriously? This isn't one? 1, 2, 3. Alright, it isn't one. I could have sworn it was. Alright. Power's on. So unless there's mimics or something in the tanks, I think we're fairly safe. We'll go ahead and let's see. Get rid of extras. Then just continuously try to get metal. Don't want to get rid of spare parts. It's about the only thing that we do want to be somewhat careful about. And yeah, we can easily recycle half of this. We have the arming key now. Psychoactive particle injector is in our inventory. Interesting. Where did we get that from? We'll get rid of EMP charges that are extra. And I'll get rid of... No. I'll keep the Typhon lures, even though I'm not really doing anything with them. Yep. It definitely seems like there is a set amount, always, of cubes and max that you would get. And so if you start to have a lot of resources, they'll just put more into alright, this might be useful versus say MP damage. Reduced damage is sustained when sliding. I don't even use the sliding, so let's get rid of that. There we go. If anything, I'm now just moving everything downward, so it's all in one place. But the thing I wanted to check here was the map to see where does this go. It goes down to water processing, which we'll go check that out in a second. Faster movement speed while using a Q-beam will be appreciated a little bit, but not by much. Walking near the sparking wires did nothing, but you would kind of think maybe in a modern game that there might be a chance that that would do something. Vodka, probably a password there. Yep. We missed a lot of things while we were over here. The first time, because why? Why look in the dark when you can just come back later? Okay, there's one utility. Unlock processing terminal. Heal processing terminal. Now unlocked. Let's see. I guess read that if you want to. I got an achievement. So there's this like alcoholic guy, Price Broadway, but we're still trying to figure out what happened to him. But if anything, it feels like what... Here's Abigail. Unless there's multiple Abigails. It feels like it's a situation where the narrative should have been that there was a lot more drinking on the job, and they just decided to limit that down to one person to make it a moral play. Yeah. What does this say? Don't put glass. Be careful not to get glass on the water processing tanks. I wonder if the guy fell in the tank. That would be fairly believable. Otherwise, this feels like this is just a way of reaching this point, which then would have been a way to jump to this point. I thought when it said I could jump incredibly high that would be something more than just double the height. I thought it was going to be you hold down the A button and then you shoot way up in the sky, or even use your projector. Use your jetpack to send you higher. Okay, I hope that this is the right idea. Psychic water, putting more Typhon DNA and potentially giving psi powers to more people, which is taking away their own ability. What am I looking at there? As far as a reflection. To choose as far as what they would want. So I just drank the water and it did just refill my psi abilities. Yep. But that makes water way more useful instead of, say, drinking alcohol. As an alternate to getting drunk and drinking alcohol. Right. Doesn't really increase the amount of health, though. So it almost feels like there should have been a second option. Should I go for like a headshot? funny this is wiggling. Probably just because it's glitching. Alright. Eel scraps. Don't pick up things that aren't items. Eel scraps. So, I guess the question really comes down to, were the eels filtering the water more, or are they just filtering waste? Like, on the map, this is called waste processing. Also want to make sure we don't have any new audio logs. So it does feel like they are just using the eels to filter the waste products in the water, and also then potentially chopping up the eels and then selling them as eel jelly. Maybe those are different eels. Honestly, if the game was smarter, I would think that there might be a statement trying to be made here about humans determining eels to be a lesser species that they can do whatever they want with, and the mimics potentially seeing humans the exact same way. So I bet we open this up and we find something in here. Probably the body. All fully grown eels have been harvested as time. We've got a greater mimic. Anybody else? So we finished the quest before we even looked up, which it would have been better if it waited until I had looked up. But yeah, he fell into the tank from the looks of it. Or this note. Yep. He fell into the tank. You can't do anything with these eels. So I guess the other eel tanks let the fully grown eels into this point, and then they fall onto the floor, and then they are chopped up, and a mimic got in there, which, yeah, these mimics definitely seem like they can get anywhere and everywhere, and very possibly our eels are turning into mimics, or humans are turning into mimics to start with. Okay, so as far as side quests go, I'm not sure how many more we have to go with. We now have a fully upgraded glue gun, and I would have thought there would have been an achievement for that. And fully upgraded disruptor gun, which means every gun we have now is fully upgraded, and unless the game is going to throw us some real curveball, I suspect we won't run into any more weapons. But you know what? I'll just wait until I have over a stack of weapon upgrades and make do with that. Yep. I have 8 mods, so let's just go ahead and upgrade this. So 6 more mods to get all the engineer ones. Then we're just going to start throwing things in here. More stamina actually would be useful. Combat focus and stealth actually would be useful. Whereas some of these scientist ones, not so much. Let's come back over here. Oh, I was trying to look at the objectives. Man, this game really just drags you in a whole bunch of different ways. Let's see. Jean Fjauer. Is that who we have set up to look for? You know what might be the problem here is even if we have 3 digits, we may not know the order in which the digits are supposed to be used. Which, yeah, that could also be a real problem if I was trying to brute force and was uncertain as far as the order. Okay, if I was going to recycle these, that would give me some metal stuff. We have long since stopped having the problem of our inventory being too small. So, like, if we were to do a New Game Plus and the inventory reset, that would be frustrating, to say the least, in a New Game Plus situation. It would be the first thing I would try to upgrade back. Although, at a certain point, if New Game Plus is just playing the game a second time, and it doesn't really have that plus aspect to it, which would just be a case of them completely mislabeling the mode. Pause now if you want to read that. If it was just a new game with some things carrying over, a few things carrying over, that would be annoying. Alright. So it looks to me like what we have here. I think I probably already have optimizer telepathy. Nope, I don't. They want me to go to the power plant. We've been there. We've been there. We've been there. We've missed atmosphere control completely. Why did we miss atmosphere control? We just didn't go in that area. So do I want to go this way? Or do I want to go back and check? I think it's probably pretty safe to go back and check. Because it is just right here. Let's just see what happens. Come on. Interesting. The shotgun so that didn't try to decontaminate us. And that was the last guy. Need to scan. Notice how it gets all dark when I start looking down a little too prematurely there. What they're trying here is to create a situation where it loads in less visual elements and saves on resources. that way, but they've gotten too ambitious for the field of view that at least the PC version of this has. And I'm just playing at 1080p, so it's really far too ambitious. We're seeing some repeated content here. A different layout of a bathroom, a lot of towels. Feels like there might have been a smuggler spot here, but I guess not. Funny thing about this is that you really are just being forced to engage with everything. I really just don't see a scenario where you don't investigate one area and do investigate other areas. It's too easy to miss. It's like they just don't want. And I guess if I have the glue gun equipped, I don't actually have the Q-beam equipped. Right, so he's up there. So I probably would have a hard time hitting him. Do these guys, the thermal phantoms, get stronger because there's fire in an area, or is it really just more of a case where the game is trying to do some environmental stuff? Shotgun. You'd think that there might be some reward for putting out fire. Doesn't really seem like that's the case. Doesn't seem like this fire ever wants to go out. Eventually shooting enough of these glue guns seems to cause some of the other glue things to disappear, particularly if it's not glue things. Seems like there's probably a tech character somewhere around here. It probably would have made more sense if more than just the technical phantoms could hack operators. Yeah, you still can't. And see, like, hacking them doesn't let them actually repair you, so you kind of would be better off just shooting them. There's supposed to be something here. Music does just seem always weirdly out of place. Just like trying to jump scare you when there's nothing even around to attack you. I'm gonna go ahead and quick save. Thought perhaps there might be multiple different smugglers things other than just the security alarm systems. Alright. Oxygen flow control room. Nothing here. We don't have a code. When you see this much glue gun stuff happening, you have to kind of assume that it's happening throughout the course of maybe a slightly longer period. And that even before the outbreak, potentially, they were using glue guns for other things. Let's see, check fans. Diagnosing fans. Fan 3 jam. Okay. So I see fan 3 down there is jammed. Okay. So now fan 3 is not jammed. Oops. Alright. Good thing we saved. Okay. Let's go this way and check this. What's over here? Filtration controls. We got a poltergeist. Okay. That was a weird music trick. Utilities. Decontamination. I'm just not sure what we're really supposed to do here. I'm not sure that we wouldn't accidentally find a human or kill somebody that doesn't have oxygen equipment. So let's not do that anyways. Alright. Research wise, we are completely done. Audio log wise.
Jean, it's Marianne. I can't get in. I tried the airlock at power plant, but it's got some kind of a lockdown on it. And there's something else. I saw something. when I was checking the last O2 station. And
Oh, you can't listen and read the book.
roughly the size of a truck, maybe. Hard to tell because it was silhouetted. I mean, could have just been debris, loose tubing. I don't know, but it scared the shit out of me. God, I sound crazy. Just gotta breathe. I'm gonna try another airlock, then I'll call back.
Yeah, and see, if you were supposed to hit that security panel, that would be weird. So, you can't read these. Pause now if you do want to read that. At the same time. There's nothing back behind there. Okay. Can't really hit that from this angle, but whatever. Is there anything down here? Nope. Is there anything up there? No. So, we'll make a quick save. And then I guess the question comes down to, can we, perhaps with the handgun, shoot this? So I think I've moved the thing out of the way, but the game maybe is messed up. Alright. So let's go over here and just hack this door. I haven't found anything around this. This could be a slightly difficult hack, but may not be too bad. We have nice wide areas here. Plenty of time. Honestly, I would prefer to just shoot this guy. Two shots there. Get you spare parts. Now, it would be weird if water here gave you psi powers, but maybe these are like magically connected to the water systems. It is also would be kind of weird for them to take the extra effort to program water coming from pre-dispensed sources. Would give you a different type of boost. It's much more video gamey for all water that you drink to just give you psi powers. There's a note here. Storage room near the grav shaft. Code. There's no human here. That was my main concern, though, is that there was somebody hiding in this facility. If anything, there's just kind of nothing here. Okay. I guess the question comes down to which is more important, to decontaminate first or get the oxygen flowing first. Right. Okay. Let's see. Where did it go? I needed to have picked up the thing, and instead I shot the thing. So what I'm gonna do is just quick load and hope that that maybe puts the thing back where it's supposed to be. No. Where did the item go? I may straight up have just broken this. And it seems like it sucks you down. Right, let's run around the side here and see if we can figure out where the pipe went. Where are you hiding, pipe? Really does just seem like it's despawned. And so you don't have like procedural really don't have a procedural way of
Requesting new operator.
fixing that, other than maybe leaving the whole area. I'm just hoping it respawns your default state, which yep.
Coming through. New supervisory received. You.
There we go. Come back this way. We've been here. Come back up here. Inevitably, what I've probably done is shot it in some very far corner. So it might be something like just look on these walls and see if you can find a pipe. Or look over here and see if you can find a pipe. Look over here and see if you can find a pipe. Unless it was floating up in the air, which I don't think is the case. Do we investigate all the way over here? Yes, we did. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give up on whatever I was trying to do. So let's just initiate the contamination. Alright, fan 3 is stuck. Fan 3 is stuck. Which means seemingly we can't get into the atmosphere control room. Doesn't seem like there's another way. Just look on the map. Let's see. And what else do we have new? Scope chipsets. Seems to me like we're just picking up the scope chipsets almost at random now, instead of them being major things. Okay. Unless it was in this room. Is there possibly a pipe that's up here, or that clipped into this room? Nope, not seeing any pipe. I have an idea. Let's quick save here. Let's equip a cycler charge. Initiate fan control and throw. I do think that might work. Wait till this stops. Throw one kind of in that direction. Throw one in that direction. Throw one in that direction. I found it. Okay, now. How can one get out of here without dying? Well, that wasted some recycler grenades, but I'm not even worth. I don't even care enough to do that a second time. All fans are okay. Great. Which means now we can run this way and we can activate decontamination. I'm not sure what that really is going to do for us, but you know, it probably isn't a terrible thought. Let's see. Okay. I swear that looks like one. Okay. This is just taking forever, and I don't think it made anybody spawn anywhere. Decontamination success. Stand by for oxygenation. So I don't even know what the point of all of that was. Maybe we'll have to do that again later, and maybe we've just preemptively done something. But yeah, it definitely doesn't feel like there's any area or anything that we could have more investigated. We have one area that we want to come back and visit later because there's a locked door, and that's pretty much it. I think we saw everything. We did all this. We now have the decontamination elements somewhat activating. There's a glue canister that we somehow missed. I want to check something over here. There's definitely a possibility of us missing a lot of things. We can't go that way. So there really is only one path. Oh, we should, while we're over here, just go get healed.
Hello. Good to see you again, Dr. Yu. Diagnosing like you had a rough day. Only take a moment.
Going from 123 to 300 definitely feels nice. There's creepy music playing still in this area, but you would think if there was actually something dangerous, it would have shown up by now. We're a little low on shotgun shells, so we'll make a couple of these. Get up to 62, I think maybe that would be about as good as we need to go. At some point, I guess we could run out of other material, and that would be interesting, certainly. If that was the way it went. I'm noticing here that when you create your first neuromod, it saves because it considers that a big thing, but then it waits for a minute or two before it saves again, so you're not constantly hitting your hard drive, making the most up-to-date save. So theoretically, if you were just attacked from behind while at a crafter, you might not have as many neuromods as you think you did. Right. I'll go and make another thing of shotgun shells. Neuromods are not particularly as valuable as they once were. Medkits might make an argument for being more valuable if I had more use for them, but as it is, I have no real need for them. Shotgun shells is now at 84 and 48. Interesting. Because that is not what it says here. Yeah. The number is broken on the display, and that pushed me to make more shotgun shells than I really needed. Interesting. Yet another weird glitch. Alright, let's run this way. Nope, not that way. Run this way. That's a lot of shotgun shells. A lot of shotgun shells to kill that just to get some spare parts. Alright, well, let's load into the power plant. I assume the power plant is not just one big area. Here you're getting a loading telling you about the power plant, which means you probably won't see that very often. All those loading screens aren't very often anyways.
I know you did not hear much, but I can track you through your bracelet and guide you from here.
Okay. So we're going to have some cystoids to deal with, which we'll just take out with the glue cannon. But we'll do that all next episode. In the power plant, we're looking for this character. And everything else is mostly in the power plant. We didn't see a Jean Fuhrer in the area we were just in, which brings about an interesting question. Certainly, as far as this Melindra's map, we should try and check that out too. If we're in the power plant now, we were, I guess, in life support before. Then that maybe is going to take us through the Talos lobby and through the Arboretum. Let's see. And what else do we really need to mention? We're fine with the amount of stuff we have. We're fine with the... Let's see, I do want this equipped, and it is equipped. It's funny, when you highlight something, it goes black when it really should stay white, or be a third color, as far as the dots. Neuromods. We just got a whole bunch of neuromods, which that means with that, everything on the engineer task has now been done. So now potentially just increasing stamina. I did not get an achievement for doing everything on that aspect. And when you start to add everything up, it's very questionable whether you would have enough neuromods for all human stuff in one playthrough. Like, we've only used, I think, 4 of the Typhon mods. So, yeah, you're talking some fairly large numbers as far as neuromods, and I don't know how you would have the resources to craft that many neuromods in the remainder of the game, or if you were playing in a different way. Like, I suppose it's possible if you had used the wrench throughout the vast majority of this time and you weren't using bullets, or if you were just really good about running up and shooting things with shotguns or using handgun bullets more efficiently, maybe. I'm glad that a lot of this stuff is not really that necessary to check on, such as research at this point, but yeah, easily we're going to have 200 neuromods installed to get all of the human things. So unless we ran into a place where neuromods became incredibly frequent, most of these stats are really still in the single digits, whereas some of them are getting into the triple or even quadruple digits. Let's make a hard save and call it an episode, though. Storyline wise, we've just once again been introduced to another human character who's going to be a quest giver for the most part. It definitely seems like as we're approaching the end of the game, we are dealing with humans a lot more often. Arguably, I'd be very surprised, but it would almost make some sense if we're not anywhere close to being done with the game, and this is still approaching like a halfway point. But yeah, I don't really think that would play out well if we had to run through the entire game a second time. Although running through the entire game a second time is not going to be that hard either. Even if they threw a nightmare at us in every single area, I could take it out. They would have to flood the entire station with a ridiculous amount of Typhons before it even became a challenge, to the point where they'd have to use up all my bullets for it to be a challenge. But yeah, storyline wise, we still really haven't gone anywhere or done anything new, and it is incredibly confusing and all over the place as far as just how many different emails and stories pop up as little side narratives. I don't know why any writer would write a game like this in the sense that if you were to take the exact same amount of writing in this game and put it in a book, it wouldn't make any sense. It would be crazier than something like the Song of Ice and Fire or Game of Thrones stories, where you have 4 or 5 different groups of people with like 20 people all being talked about. In this, it feels like there's at least 3 or 4 different groups of people with multiple people talking about it, each other in the emails in particular. That's just not really a cohesive narrative. There should be a singular focus on a singular narrative for the most part. A side focus on the whistleblower mission was fine. The smuggling aspect isn't really getting too off the rails either. But those are really the only 2 side stories that feel like they've kind of mattered. The romance aspect of Morgan Yu really should play a bigger role, and the relationship aspect of Morgan and Alex should play a much bigger role, but it really doesn't. Also, I'm still uncertain whether I want to blow up the entire space station or escape. If I escaped, I'm probably selfishly saving myself and dooming all of humanity. So perhaps there is a bad ending for doing that, although you could also say I'm choosing not to kill a bunch of people, so you could say that's a good ending. I fear at the end of the game they're going to not give you a conclusive this is the good ending or this is a bad ending. They're going to say whatever was in the mind of the player determines whether it's a good or a bad ending, because the actions of either blowing up the station or escaping are going to be justifiable in the mind of the player for different reasons. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.